Welcome back to MUSE on the Mic. I'm Riley.
And I'm Emily. Thanks for joining us again on another episode of MUSE on the Mic. We are here on another YouTube episode, catching up from where we left off from 2 other episodes. It's a whole situation. Riley, tell us where we're at, because I'm spinning with this story.
We are finally jumping into the conclusion, reacting to Derek Branch's video about Risa and the fuckery that she went through, the viral video that everyone's heard of. We are going to finally watch because Emily and I have resisted to react to it with you. So we're excited to get to the bottom of this.
Oh, I can't wait to find out what the actual answers are, because I feel like he's left us on the most incredible cliffhangers. As disgruntled about it as I am, because I just need to know what happens, we've been teetering on the edge of the most obvious red flags, the craziest, most unexpected drama. I would hate if this was my life. It's making me stressed. I'm I need answers here. It's getting sleepless. Poor Risa. I can't even imagine. But before we jump into everything, make sure the following things: like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, join the Patreon, because we put all our extra spicy, uncensored, extra episodes over on the Patreon because they can't go on YouTube. Social media links are all in the description below. And make sure you just join us on everything. Join the conversations, join the comments. We're always on Instagram and TikTok and trying to update you guys on what's happening. So let's jump in. What's happening today? I'm stressed already. My palms are sweaty.
Okay, guys, this is part 4 of Who the Hell Did I Just Marry? Now, before you watch this, make sure you watch part 3. This is about a woman named Risa and how she ended up marrying a pathological liar. Her video's hitting 4 mil now, y'all. So y'all know what to do. Get your tea and get your snacks, because you already know this is about to be good. If you want to watch it yourself, you can go here. The rest of us, you're
look at her account.
Now, where we stopped, Risa finds out that Legion has been having R-rated messages with other women. Now, Risa's reading the messages. One of their girls was messaging him and was like, "When you gonna come get this kitty?" Now, by the way, if that went over anybody's head, she ain't talking about just any kitty. Risa scrolls up the past messages, and Legion was telling the girl that he wanted to hit it after lockdown. And throughout the phone, he was doing this with all types of girls. Risa was like, "Hey, yo, the person I just married is an imposter. Legion is saying some freaky stuff on here, and he been treating me like some kind of Virgin Mary." So boom, Legion gets out the shower. Risa like, "What the hell is this?" Legion was like, I was just joking, baby. I was just joking. I shouldn't have said that. I was just flirting." Risa's like, "Is this what you into?" He's like, "No, I was joking. I was joking. I was stupid." She's like, "I'm over here behaving and you're sending your ding-a-ling to people? You know how many men I turned down to be faithful to you?" This destroyed Risa. At one point, Risa was like, "I'm getting my lick back." And Legion's like, "It's not that serious. Look, I'll delete Messenger right now." Risa's like, "That's not good enough. We're getting marriage counseling." And Legion's like, okay. Risa's like, "He may have not physically cheated, but he's definitely emotionally cheating." And she tells Legion, "You not sleeping in the bedroom with me. And when my mama get here, don't be on no mess. We gonna act cordial, we gonna act normal, we gonna act good." By the time her mom got there, Risa couldn't stand that man. But she had to let that man come back in the bedroom. So Legion's sleeping, she just awake thinking about this. She's like, "Yo, if this is what you're into, that's something that we should have talked about. Is there something wrong with me? Am I lacking something?" Because those messages went way back. She found it in March. Those messages were going back to December. Risa did not want to be around Legion no more. So she goes on a long drive to clear her mind. She calls her aunt. This man just did this. He's sending pics to women. The aunt was like, "What do you want me to do? We all watched you marry the man after everything he already did. So what you need to do is go home and figure it out. I don't really got any advice." So Risa drives back home. So boom, a few days later, they start their marriage counseling. They're doing it over a Zoom call. And Legion was cool. So the pastor's like, "So you guys have been married for 3 months and got y'all first infidelity, and there's no intimacy? Legion, what's up with that?" "Bruh, I was joking. It was stupid, okay? Like, if you don't want to forgive me, don't forgive me. But I already apologized." The pastor and the pastor wife was like,
joking.
whoa, this man's some work. A few days later, Legion was like, Risa, I want to talk. I want us to make a joint bank account. Risa was like, what? This man has been paying the rent and the utilities, and now he wants a joint bank account? Risa's like, okay, fine. Let's look at each other's bank account. Legion's like, okay, cool. They look at the accounts. Legion has $9,600. Risa has $1,500. He logs into the Chase account. There's $15,000. Risa's like, okay, now show me the other two. The ones with the most money. Legion's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Risa's like, what? Why? Because there's a lot of money in there, and my uncle told me never show your woman how much money you got. Risa's like, but we're married. He's like, no, it's not happening. So guys, they get back to counseling. The pastor and the wife is like, okay guys, welcome back to our next session. Legion has private bank accounts with lots of money, and he don't want to show me. And I know it's there because he said he could buy a house for $700,000 in cash. The pastor's like, okay. Legion, why don't you want to show your wife your savings account? Legion makes up some BS. The pastor's like, something is not right here. Then Legion goes off. Legion was like, who do y'all think y'all talking to? I'm the one that earned this money. Blood, sweat, and tears. I don't gotta show nobody shit. No woman can tell me to open my bank account. My wife tried the same thing, and that didn't work. King Kong, don't have. The pastor and the wife like, yeah, I don't think y'all gonna make it. Risa's like, wait, no, don't say that. We're gonna make it. Legion's like, man, I'm off this. I'm not finna get attacked just because I don't want to show you my bank account. Risa's like, and this is why we're here. The pastor and the wife was like, yeah, like, we're gonna still help. We're gonna provide support. But y'all got some Jerry Springer shit going on here. If this was premarital, we'd have told y'all, hell no. It's wraps, it's finito. Don't even try. Do not collect $200. Do not go past go. So now, guys, it's the end of April. This man still hasn't shown the accounts. Oh. One day, Legion's like, Risa, I want to talk. I know your lease is ending soon, so let's start looking for houses. Now, just like all of us, Risa's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want no part. So Legion does it on his own. He finds a realtor named Amber, gives her a budget, and they start. Amber shows them 3 houses. Risa loved the first one. Legion offers all cash. Amber's like, okay, cool. We just need your pre-approval and your proof of funds. Risa's like, Jesus. Here we go. Here we go. Legion's like, cool, I'll give you whatever. But I'm not giving proof of funds until they accept the offer. Amber's like, yeah, I understand. But this is how we're going to do it. So I'm going to need that paperwork, okay? Obviously, Legion doesn't send the paperwork. So one day, Risa goes to the gas station. And she gets a call from Amber. And she says, I just don't understand why Legion wouldn't want to send in the paperwork. If you have the money, why don't you just send the paperwork? Even this, you're his wife. You can even send it. Risa wanted to send the Chase statement, but it was a year old, so it was void. Amber's like, he could email it, take a picture. Oh my God. Jesus. In this phone call, you could tell that Amber knew something was weird, and Risa wasn't quite picking up what was happening in her situation. Risa's like, okay, look, I don't know what's going on, so let's just put a pause on this. I know this sounds weird, but I just don't know what's up. Amber's like, okay, do your research, girl. If I can help, call me. We'll get you a crib with or without him. Risa felt like this was like a woman thing. Like a something's not right, open your eyes, like a signal. This was the last time that Risa and Legion looked for a house or talked to a realtor. Thank fucking God, because I know all of us are tired of it. She went home and told Legion, hey, let's just find us a place to rent and save our money. Right? And Legion was like, okay, cool. Now, we're still somewhere in the end of April. And guys, everything's about to get good after this. Now, Risa starts looking for another job because she didn't want to be dependent on Legion to pay off this car note for that Nissan. Legion hears this and just starts cracking up. He's like, you not leaving. You like that job more than you love me. And that only fueled Risa. She started applying everywhere. In no time soon, a business called her up. They said, just fill out this background packet and send it back. Now, one thing this form asked for was the full spouse's name, birth date, and social security number. Which, by the way, I don't know why a job would ask for your spouse's social security number. What's the point if you're the one working there? I don't know. She goes
That's
to Legion
fishy.
and says, "Hey, baby, I need your social security for this." He's like, "I'm not giving you my social security." She's like, "Oh my God, I need this because we're married and I can't lie. Help.
Help me! Help me!
Legion's like, "Oh my God, here." Risa turns it in. And also, Risa again pays attention to the social security number. And she's like, "This one is different from the one on the marriage certificate. The first 3 digits was different. So either she messed up and ran the wrong number, or the social that was put on the marriage license is wrong." So guys, she takes that number and does another background check. She not playing. All of the addresses attached to that social pull up. It had Georgia, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania. But one thing it didn't have was California, which is weird. Is this an incomplete background check? Because he puts it on his resumes, his social media, and quite a few things. Now, on a side note, Risa tells a story about how Legion hits his leg at work, and it's slowly been getting worse and worse and worse. Risa would try to take him to the doctor. He'd be like, no, I'm good. I already got an appointment coming. Doctor says just put some ice on it. Risa says she mentioned this for something later. Now, guys, we're in May. COVID lockdown ends and stores start opening. You guys know what else opened? San Diego State. So Risa calls up their office. Somebody picks up. She gets information on how to request transcripts online. She puts in the social and the name, and there was no results. She sends an email and asks, has this student ever gone there? They reply and say no student with that social has ever been there. So Risa has a talk with Legion. She's like, so, what's the deal with San Diego State? He's like, what are you talking about? Why is there no records of you? Legion says, I was a private citizen. My father paid the school so that my name and my social wasn't publicized. Then the school gave me a special card so that anywhere I go, I don't got to show my information. This is why
Throw
San
this man in the
Diego doesn't have
garbage.
any records of me. But you said that you played football. I did play football. So you're saying that your school didn't publicize your name anywhere, and they're in violation of NCAA rules, which is like some National College Association. And I looked it up. Each agent has to fill out a background check. There is no way he got around this. I was also wondering, do they let you wear a uniform with no name? And when you score a touchdown, don't they say, hey, number this and their last name? Don't they call you out? I feel like they would need to have that. Legion's like, why are you asking all these questions? She was like, I'm just curious. But for real, how are you in compliance with NCAA and you're a private citizen? Look at Risa's face when she asked this question. This stink face is crazy. He said, all I can tell you is I'm a private citizen. Now, at this point, Risa now knows there are no records of Legion being in San Diego State. So now days roll by. Legion's knee, it gets worse and worse. He would just come home, shower, get into bed, and then elevate his leg. At one point, he started using Risa's pain pills, the one she got from surgery. But the reason why it was hurting kept switching up. First, he said he hit it at work. Then he injured it in football. Eventually, it got to the point where it was hard to work on when he went to his job. Now, guys, it's mid-May. Legion calls Risa at work. She's like, what's going on? Legion is like, I just got a call from my stepson. He was crying on the phone and everything. Risa's like, what happened? Supposedly, the son said that his stepdaughter died from COVID, and they found her in the apartment unresponsive. And as soon as she got to the hospital, she was pronounced dead. So the son called him to say that, and he was like, hey, can you call mom and send her $2,000? Which at this point, guys, I don't believe phone calls no more. I'm done. But Risa, she was like, no, I don't play with death. I'm just going to believe you. So she said, I'm sorry to hear that. It's okay. Send the money. Whatever we can do to help. Supposedly, Legion was so hurt because, you guys know, he's real close to those kids. Now, guys, it's May 20th. And Risa's still on a mission. She does another background check with a different company. This one listed addresses, and it also listed names that associate with that social. And one of those names was his ex-wife. Risa tried to find her on social media. Nothing came up. But this didn't make Risa doubt it was her. Because one thing that's true, men lie and women lie. But the U.S. federal government with your social don't. It showed him living with his ex-wife, but it wasn't in San Diego. The crib was in Georgia. It also showed a divorce record in Metro Atlanta County, which means they got married in Atlanta, not San Diego. Risa's at work looking at this information. As soon as she found out, she tells her boss, hey, I gotta go real quick. I got a family emergency. She gets in her car and pulls up to the courthouse to request the public divorce documents. And she starts reading these documents. And she reads this. Number 1, Legion didn't file it. His ex-wife did for irreconcilable differences. And she did not request for money or support. Number 2, the marriage did not make it more than 6 months. Number 3, he was served the divorce in Metro Atlanta, which means most likely he was living in Atlanta. Number 4, he filed a pauper affidavit. I hope I said it right. Which means he's telling the government that he's so poor, he cannot afford the fees for this divorce. Number 5, they served him at his previous employer, which on there said a grocery store. What is happening, guys? I'll tell you what I'm hearing this story like, oh my God, you can't make this shit up. Number 6, the ex-wife's name, address, and phone number was listed. Risa was like, as any rational person would do, she wrote down that phone number, went back to work, told her friend the whole situation, and her friend was like, girl, you better call her and find out from her, because who else would know better? Now, Risa doesn't know if the ex-wife changed her number or not, but she dials it and calls anyway. Someone picks up. Hello? Risa's like, hey, can I speak with Barbara? Now, we're calling her Barbara because Risa does not want to use her real name. I'm going to imitate their phone call. This is Barbara. Hey, Barbara, this is Shirley. Shirley who? Shirley Jones. I'm the wife of someone you know as Legion. Barbara starts cracking up. She's like, oh, wow. If you're calling me, then I know it's bad. Yeah, I'm not trying to bother you or disrupt your life. I'm literally coming to you on some like woman-to-woman stuff because you're like the only person that can help. Okay, what do you want to know? So like, I understand that like you and my husband, you guys like communicate often. What? Girl, no, we don't. One thing that you need to know about Legion, whatever he says, it's a lie.
It's a lie.
Now, guys, Risa knows Legion as that Tinder name and like kind of the same name that was on his Facebook. She mentions that name to Barbara. Barbara's like, I don't know that name. That's not his name. Nobody calls him that. This man must have unlocked a new personality. Risa was like, what was your experience with him? Barbara's like, let me guess. He told you I cheated on him and I'm trying to get his money. Lisa and Barbara talk about all types of different things. How they met. How Legion's never been to San Diego. They've never been there, lived there, nothing. Barbara's like, how did you get my number? Risa's like, things was getting so weird. I needed answers. So like I did a background check, saw your guys' divorce, went to the court and got the documents, and your number was on there. Wow. Things must have been bad. Girl, what did he promise you? They talk for 30 more minutes. They do a lot of talking, guys. Barbara tells Risa, hey, I don't want nothing to do with this, so keep me out of it. Risa gives the ex-wife her word. Barbara's like, girl, don't blame yourself. You were dealing with a master manipulator. Barbara also tells Risa that Legion's ex-girlfriend called her too, and the ex-girlfriend lives in Douglasville. Now listen, guys, Legion's driver license had an address in Douglasville. He told Risa that it was his sister Shantae's address. Risa tells that to the ex-wife. The ex-wife was like, no, that's his ex-girlfriend's address. Oh my God. Oh my God. The ex-wife says he moved in with her and created this whole narrative with her. And then she found out he was lying and kicked him out. And after she kicked him out, she called me like you're calling me. She was like, girl, when I was with him, I got out before it got bad. Once I knew I was out. Now, guys, the phone call's starting to come to an end. And before they got off the phone, Risa was like, I got one more thing to ask. How is your daughter? And I'm leaving you guys on a cliffhanger right there. I'm sorry.
Of course.
I'm sorry. But this is just getting out of control. How many lies are we going to find this man in? Also, has Legion been going to his ex-girlfriend's house this
That's
entire
funny.
time? I almost stopped doing this series because it was taking me forever to make each episode, guys. I swear I'd be up all night.
Same.
So if you guys want part 5, y'all run it up, share it, make me believe it, bro, because I'd be like, I don't know. If I do part 5, I'm gonna do it a little differently because I hear that it's basically a lot of parts of her just catching him in lies over and over again, and that might get boring. I don't know. So we're gonna see because I still gotta watch it. Alright, guys, as I always say, what do you think about
let's
this?
Pause it there. I'm exhausted. This is so much.
That's
Like,
right.
she had to have a full-time FBI job just to dig into this man's fucking lie web. That is crazy. That is different than like just sending, like the social media profile of some new guy you're talking to your friends to be like, guys, do you see anything weird? Like, this is beyond girlfriends just like helping each other out. She's at the courthouse getting somebody else's divorce decree. That's crazy.
I think she's clearly waking up to this, but I mean, as an outsider, I know being in it's hard, but as an outsider,
sure.
I'm like, if you're calling the ex-wife, you're doing these things, it's over, right? It's like maybe she just wants that proof just to make herself feel better.
There's definitely something to that, because to me, like some of the red flags I can understand not seeing at the beginning, especially when it's all the butterflies. A great first date can really throw you for a loop. But when you're at the point that you're checking someone's phone, I'm sorry, but like your trust is so far gone, it's almost impossible to come back from that, because even in good times, you're still going to have this wonder and you're still going to hack into the phone. So like, that's your life at that point.
Right.
And it's not just going to end at the phone, right? It's going to be his laptop. It's going to be this, check his Apple Watch, check the AirPod. Like, it's going to be a whole thing. And that's your life now. That's just what you do now? No.
Well, I think it's if
is
you
the
have
tap-out point.
If there's something to find, right? If she did it once for some curious reason and there's nothing to see, I would assume you stop. The point is she's finding stuff. So she's going to keep going back.
I'm convinced when you look, you find things you don't want to see, regardless.
Great.
I mean, it could be something simple, right? It doesn't mean you're going to find dick pics to other girls. It could mean that you just find like suspect transactions on a credit card, or like some secret account you didn't know about, like things to at least argue about, or something that's like a betrayal of trust. But when you don't look, you don't find. And if you already feel that convicted, just leave. Just end things. Like, why put yourself through all of this? Because her sleepless nights must be pure, like, heart racing, where you hear the thumping in your ear, just trying to get a snooze in. And she's just thinking of all the things that she's been deceived by, and probably blaming herself. Being like, I'm so dumb. Why didn't I catch on to this? Like, how could I be fooled like that? Like, and like, rage looking at the person beside you, being like, you motherfucker, I could smother you in your sleep.
I would.
Trying to fucking be normal. And then her mother came and you have to act nice. I did no, I'm out. You guys have the house. Goodbye.
I mean, he's a master manipulator, obviously, but he's quick. Like the story, at least how Derek's telling it, when he does get called on something, he's got a quick answer for it. Like,
which is creepy. Yeah, thought out. It's creepy. He's trying to play a long game, but a long game that has no end. Because like it hasn't worked out for the past 3 women doing this. Eventually, someone's gonna find out. Like, what is so shitty about your actual life that you have to take on this additional persona? It's just, there's so many questions. The psychology is crazy.
Well, let's go. I want to see the end.
Are we ready? Oh, like literally my palms are sweating through that whole thing. I was like, it's getting hot in here. This is stressful.
So where we left off, so how was your daughter? Barbara's like, what? My daughter is fine. What did he say about my daughter? Risa was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Because she caught Legion in another lie. And she's like, I don't have the heart to tell this woman. I'm not even finna start that mess. So Risa's like, he said that she had COVID. Barbara's like, no, my daughter does not have COVID. She's doing fine. Risa's like, of course. I'm glad your daughter's okay. And Barbara's like, see, that's the kind of man he is, bro. Don't believe anything he says. Bro, it's not your fault. Do not blame yourself. Risa says thanks for the help, and then they get off the phone. Now, Risa had to take a long drive after everything she just heard. Man, we got to take a long drive or a blunt or a shot after what we just... A couple days later, that turned Risa into the FBI, the CIA, Homeland Security, all at the same time. She doing her research, just like that realtor told her to. Legion carries on business as usual. He don't know what Risa knows. He don't know Risa got a whole fucking Rico like Young Thug. A couple days later, Risa finds Legion's mother's obituary. And on it, it says who's going to carry her memories. It lists Legion's dad, his brother in Philly who had like a wife and daughter, and Legion's wife. But guys, it's not the ex-wife. It's a whole different wife. And her name is like LaToya. Risa's like, who the F is LaToya? Who the F is LaToya? Now, Legion's over here wobbling around the house. He ain't in crutches. This is the best picture I can find. Risa on the computer trying to figure it out. She put the other ex-wife's name, LaToya, in the public divorce records, and information just start coming up. It shows that Legion initiated this divorce, and the two of them once lived in Rhode Island for 2 years, which now makes sense why that Rhode Island kept coming up in the database. She tried looking for the dad's obituary, but there was no results. Now, Risa knew his grandmother's name, and something in her spirit told her to search it up. First, she checked the databases in Atlanta. Something came up, and supposedly she died years ago. Then she went to a site called legacy.com, and she found a match. Guys, it said she died in July 2008. And what made it sure it was her? On the obituary, it says, here lies the people that hold her memories, the brother in Philly, Legion with no spouse, the brother in Nashville. It did not list those two sisters, which confused Risa. Because she's like, I swear I've been seeing this man talk to them or talk to somebody. Bruh, that means when Legion was crying about his grandma, she was already gone in 2008. This man is a monster. You're a monster. Now, as I said, Legion was basically bedridden. One thing that wasn't a lie was the pain in his leg. Risa knew that something was wrong because he was also not eating. She saw this man go from a 3X to a 2X. Risa thought it was like something like a cancer. She don't know. She tells Legion, I'm going to your next appointment because this isn't right. Now, guys, we skipped to June 17th, which is Legion's birthday. If it's his birthday. I mean, at this point, if it's everything's an if to me. Risa calls up the pastor, tells him all the news. And the pastor was mind blown. But he also was like, I can tell something was off with that motherfucker. What you gonna do now? Risa was like, I'm going to end it. I'm not staying with no liar. Especially when he lied about his ex-wife's daughter dying. What the No. Also around this time, Risa was offered that new job. So she put in her 2 weeks. She called off work to prepare for transitioning for it. Legion was so sick, he would go to work, but called off often. He also left the condiment company and started working for Apple. I don't know how you go from VP to Apple, but okay. So I guess this man was sleeping in his bed, right? Risa grabs his work phone, which doesn't have service, but it still had the data from when it was used. And she found some texts from him and a woman named Peaches. Now, Peaches was a SW, a salesman for some kitty. In the text, she's listing prices, 40 for a hand job, 60 for oral, more if no condom. And these messages weren't like back to back. There's like gaps. So a few weeks before in May, you see text from Legion saying, thank you so much, that was great. A gap. A message from Peaches saying, hey, I'm at the new spot. Legion saying, I'm coming to see you. Is it this place with the trash can? Because I'm guessing he pulled up. Boom. Thanks again for another good night. Like, bro, I'm telling you right now, if it was me, I'd be excited. But Risa, she wasn't fazed by this at all. She was like, I know what this man is. She ain't cry. She didn't feel like it was her fault. She said, if anything, She felt relieved because she didn't want to do this divorce because, she like a Christian. But after this, she was like, oh, yeah, thank you, God, thank you. She takes pictures with her phone, puts it back. Risa fed up. She like, yup, he out. I'm kicking this man out. Now, remember, it's June 17th. It's his birthday. She goes in a room, sits on the corner of his bed. And with the calmest energy, she's like, Legion? He was watching YouTube on the phone. He like, yeah, what's up? Now, I'm going to ask you something, and I want you to be honest. He started to get defensive. Risa like, don't do all that. Now, you've never been to San Diego State or California, have you? He's like, bruh, of course I did. I even showed you the picture of the house that I lived in. And my dad paid for me to be a private citizen. Nah. I called them. They don't have no record of you. Because you never went. You've never been to California. Legion looking at her emotionless. And I bet you've only been to Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. Now a little something started to show up in Legion's eyes. Risa's like, I don't think this is going to work. Legion's like, what? The marriage? You don't want to be married no more? I don't want to be married to you anymore. We tried. But I think it's time for us to go our separate ways. Legion's like, that's not what marriage is. We supposed to fight for this. No, I don't want this. And I don't want to fight for it. I don't want you. I don't want this. I do not want green eggs and ham. Legion's like, I'm not giving up on the two of you. You don't have a choice. I think you need to call your brother or sister now. And you need to pick a bag and get the fuck out of my house. Editing. I ain't gonna hold you guys. When I was watching her tell the story, I said it at the same time as her. I was like, yeah, you gotta get the you got it. Legion's like, I don't have time for this. Risa's like, I don't care. You gotta go. You gotta get. Go to your brothers. Go to your sisters in Douglasville. Now, at first he refused. Then he called up his aunt. His aunt was like, what's up, baby? He over here like, this girl tripping. I don't know what's wrong with her. I ain't never lied to her. And guys, I'm telling you right now. Risa heard that and every bit of calmness left her body. All she could see was red, like that Carrie movie. Crazy eyes, that's hilarious. That girl gets bullied at prom, and then she ends up doing supernatural stuff, burns down the whole school, kill everybody. Risa called her mom screaming, cussing. And remember, her mom a child of God, so like when she heard this, she was like, put that man on the phone. She handed that man the phone, and after that, her eyes start darting around that motherfucker. She looking for weapons. She look at the lamp, she look at the TV, she look at the dresser. Risa mom like, listen, Legion, I am not there to control my daughter, but in the name of Jesus, Lord, please grab your things and get up out that house, because she might kill you. Now, Legion's aunt hears all of that. She's like, hey, nephew, just come home back to Philly, and I'll send you some money. Which, I swear that choked me when I heard that. Leave that house because I think that woman is going to kill you. Risa's like, what? He got money up in that offshore account and that Chase account. On God, guys, I swear we're all saying that in our heads. Like, what? Bro, you're going to send him some money? Risa was like, look, you got two options. You leave him voluntarily or involuntarily. Legion in the bed like, don't talk to me like you lost your mind. You ain't gonna do shit. And oh my God, guys. Risa gets real close. And she's like, I will beat you like the bitch that you are. I dare you. I dare you to try me. I will beat you like the male bitch that you are. Risa started pacing through the house. She's like, I'm probably going to jail today. I'm probably not going to have a job tomorrow. Woman scorn, right? Said, get up. He just looking at her. She look over at the lamp. Legion look. He's like, oh, she dead ass. Legion gets up. The aunt's like, keep me on the phone. He packs all he can in 2 bags and starts getting ready to leave. Now, guys, while Legion has been bedridden, he wouldn't eat much. But he was drinking all types of Powerade. And Risa was like, man, this man just downing Powerade. Like, what's going on? Now, she notices a bunch of them all, like, lined up next to the bed. But they're full of something. She's like, I haven't seen this man go pee. He never leaves the bed. Is he peeing in those bottles? Risa like, What is that? Legion like, it's cool. I'm gonna throw it out. He start throwing them in the trash. Is that piss? Legion like, I couldn't make it to the bathroom. Oh, hell no. Get the fuck out. Risa grabs his bags, throws it in the car for him, takes the lanyard off his keys, and it took him about 2 hours to get his stuff together. As he was heading out, he was like, are you really gonna kick me out?
Yes.
On my birthday? Is it, Legion? Is it really your birthday? I don't know anymore. Risa's like, get on. He gets in the car and pulls off. Now at this point, Risa's mom still don't know everything he lied about. She didn't even tell Legion that she called his ex-wife, which I'm very happy about because that means you kept your promise and I'm very proud of her. Because low-key, if it was me, I'd be like, no, I called your ex, mother. Like, She texted the landlord saying, hey, I'm changing the locks. I got an emergency. An hour later, she got the whole bedroom cleaned up, and she threw away anything that Legion touched. Then she packed all his stuff and put it in the TV room. She still wasn't in a place to cry. She just had so much adrenaline. He left a lot of things, but one thing he left was a photo album of his like mom and dad and like siblings like when they're younger and stuff like that. Risa thought about having a burn party on Facebook where she would just burn all the pictures and stuff. But she was like, nah, burning the deceased parents is just crazy. That's just heartless. She ain't that heartless. It's crazy because back in May, she was preparing for his birthday and ordered him like a really fancy cake. Right after this, she went to go pick up that cake, brought it to her family's house, told him the story, and they just ate that thing together. The grandpa was like, he ain't look like no football player, so I knew something was weird.
Cake and
She went
boom,
back
baby.
home, changed the codes on her security system. Legion would later call and let her know. He made it to Philly, he with the aunt. Then, about a week after, Risa and Legion have a talk about divorce.
Hey.
I'm too happy. I'm too happy. Risa was like, okay, who's gonna file? Legion's like, I don't want a divorce, so I'm gonna fight it. Risa's in her head like, really after all this? But one thing that Risa learned, in the state of Georgia, if you got no kids, no house, like property, it's easily going to be an uncontested divorce. Risa's like, look, what stuff do you want to keep? Legion's like, why can't we just work this out? Can we just talk? Risa's like, no, we're done talking. Risa said by the time she was putting this story on TikTok, she found out a lot more lies. Everything that we know now is only like 5%. It's now June 24th. She goes to print her documents. She went and paid and filed it. She also had the last document, and all she had to do was go get Legion to sign it. Now, it's been like 4 days. Risa gets a call from somebody. It was Legion's cousin. Risa's like, I don't know how she found me. Maybe some kind of mutual. I don't know. But she says this. Hey, this is Legion's cousin. He's over here with us with his family. He's over here telling the whole family that you kicked him out after he walked in on you having an affair. And he said you stole his money. Please. Then you kicked him out. And the man that you were having an affair with was a law enforcement officer. And he used his duty weapon to kick my cousin out the house. Guys, when I heard this shit, bro, I know all of us.
Extravagant.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up, yo. And then the cousin says, I'm reaching out to you because we know this man. We know what he do, and we know he lying. I just wanted to know if it was true. I just wanted to know the story. Because this is the first time we heard about you. We didn't even know he was married. Wow. Guys, if this ain't good to you, I don't know what is. I don't know. Risa's just listening to this like... Risa's like, what do you mean? He talks to his brothers all the time. The cousin's like, brothers? Risa's like, brothers? Yeah, he has 4 of them. The cousin's like, no. He has 1 older brother and a twin brother. You heard that right, guys. Legion has a twin brother. What is this story? What is happening? Legion must be like a medium for how many people he just made up. All these like dead people that don't exist. I see dead people. Like I don't know what's up, bro. So the cousin runs down the entire family tree, basically finds out that obviously Legion sits on a throne of lies. Risa just like
exhausting. Yeah.
Later, Legion leaves Philly to come back to Augusta, and Risa's like, okay, it's time to get that signature. She gets in the car with her aunt and little cousin, and they drive to Augusta. They meet up with Legion, and she asks him to sign it. Legion's like, I don't got time, I'll do it later. Risa's like, what? Nah, no, I need that now. She didn't say that, but she was thinking it. So she left, and it wasn't quite clear, but she pulled up like the next day, if like not the next week. And they meet up at UPS. She says she saw this man get out the car. He was looking homeless, looked like he ain't been taking care of himself. He's still losing weight. He looked like he was like a 1X now. He walks in the store. She said this man was smelling terrible. Like he looked homeless and smelled homeless. Like it was insane. She was just like, she said she couldn't even recognize him. And low key, it broke her heart. But it didn't break it enough to not get that signature on GOD. She shows him the paper, says sign here, give it to the UPS person to notarize it. She's like, okay, bye, Legion. Take care of yourself. And she goes. And they both drive home. Now, guys, I'm ending it right there. I truly believe that's like most of the story. I think there's like 10 more parts, but basically it's just her finding more and more and more lies. But I think we got the gist here. We got the tea. We drank it all in 5. Okay, we get the gist. So this was a cool run. Now that I'm caught up, I need to see what I've been seeing a lot of stuff on TikTok. They saying all types of stuff. The real Legion showed up. He making TikToks. I hear the wife made a TikTok. I don't know what's happening. So I'm gonna go look at some research, and then I might come back with a video on that, y'all. But other than that, guys, what do you think about this?
Wow. Holy shit.
So you're telling me we have to go and watch all these parts now if we want to hear the end.
I know, right? I think you and I saw that the Legion guy replied. Like, I feel like I sent you a post on Instagram or something that was like, oh, look, the hubby's clapping back or something like that. It's not like baller alert or something.
Trying to sue her or something, was he?
Something like defamation and all the things, which I don't know if I have the time or the patience to go on. I'd love another summary, though.
Well, I guess like what Derek's saying is she leaves them and she only continues to go on about more of the lies and like things she uncovers. So really, that's the gist of it. But my God, thank God she got away from this idiot. And when the cousin called, I was thinking, what a loser. You know, he's bashing her, saying all these things. Like so like standard or typical, but yet the cousin's saying, no, we know he's lying. He's a liar. So
right.
Like everyone knows who this man is. That's crazy.
Oh, it's wild. And you know what? Like there was a couple things that threw me because like the twin brother was a twist I didn't expect. Because why didn't that come up on any kind of background search? You would think.
Right.
And like at the same time, this poor woman could have been down to testing DNA. But having a twin means that fucks everything up because your DNA is so similar that like that would have thrown her for loops, all right. Like it's just the lying about the dead kid, does that woman even have children that he even cared about? Like there's so many questions, so many fake phone calls.
You know where my head went when she said a twin? It brought me back to our story, for those of you that listen. It brought me back to the story of our staff. I was like, oh my God, there's been 2 of them.
Maybe there is.
No, I think he would have told us that. I don't know, maybe I'll listen in here.
That's wild. This is wild. I'm exhausted. I feel bad for her. I feel happy that she got out of it. I feel like everybody can take some sort of lesson from this on how liars and manipulators operate. And we've all known somebody to a small degree who's like this. Hopefully we haven't all known someone who's like to this degree.
Right.
But it's easy to be deceived these days. And the thing is most people get caught up in their own lie. Like it's not that she was that clever or that someone, even the ex-wife or someone was like that onto it immediately. It's not that they were the FBI. It's that people mess up their lives when they get caught in their own web and it just unravels from there. I can't imagine. I'm so exhausted. Like this is terrible. This poor woman.
It was an interesting series. It was an interesting series. And yeah, I like that aspect that at least she tells the story. She's profited from it. It's given us entertainment. So
absolutely well deserved. Pain and suffering, they call that in the court case. She definitely got her just rewards, that's for sure. And like, poor woman, I wonder like how you date after that with any realm of trust. Like the poor next three guys are gonna get the brunt of all the trauma. Ugh.
Unfortunately.
Ugh. You right? And like hurt people, right? And then that just pays forward. What a mess. What an absolute mess. And he's gonna go bamboozle the next woman in no time.
Yeah.
Ah. It's terrible.
Well, thankfully there is no children. She's not tied to him for the next 19 years.
Oh, could you imagine? Could you just imagine having to deal with someone like that forever? And like the disappointment your children will constantly go through because nothing will be true ever.
Right.
Oh, good Lord. I even feel for like the parents, the grandparent, like nobody has time for, you're gonna kill grandma with this kind of stress. Like nobody has this in them to fucking deal with. He must be exhausted keeping up with his own lies. Like it's just what a wild circumstance.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I've enjoyed this though. I know it's a little off topic from body rub parlor life, but it's definitely a current dynamic in dating. It's definitely a thing in many marriages and relationships where you find out about hidden secrets, shit on people's phones, the detriment of social media, how easy it is to dick pic. I mean, there's a lot. Use ancestry.com once in a while. You might find the tree up sooner than waiting for the cousin. Like, there's a lot of lessons here, but I thought it was just so fun. And so, I mean, look at her views and stuff. So popular, exploded across the internet, and we just had to jump in. I thought it was awesome.
It was fun.
And shout out to Derek and either his editing or his editor because flawless execution, hilarious choices. Some of those were I see dead people just on me. And the McLovin ID. I was like, I'm done. This is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So shout out to Derek Branch for the summaries. Saved us 60 hours.
Yes, thank you.
And I guess if you're not on TikTok, guys, you need to get on TikTok because that's where all the good shit happens. Anything that's trending or pop culture. And you can find us on TikTok too at MUSE On The Mic. Thank you everyone for joining us on another awesome episode. Subscribe to the Patreon, first of all. Like and share this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and catch us on all of the social media, TikTok, and everywhere else. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.